This one's for the men who just say they've given up on Western women and are gonna go abroad for a woman. I understand some of your frustrations, but if you're gonna be a passport bro, there are certain downsides. First of all, you have no idea if this woman is using you for a visa or your money. You're not gonna be able to have fun banter with her. She might be more feminine, but she might not feel like your best friend. She might feel more like a maid service. Number two, you're definitely going to run into some cultural differences. Is she going to be willing to give up her family, her friends, her career just to come to the States for you? You guys are also going to run into the issue of where to live. Or are you willing to move there? Passport broing is a cop-out for something that can be easily solved.
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
You think Asian women are going to go 50-50 with you on the bill?
No, we date traditionally, which means if I invite the girl out, I plan and pay for the date. The catch is the cost of living is often 1/4 the price overseas, so even if we pay for the whole date, we're still paying less than what we would have paid 50-50. And this is a point that I don't think it's talked about enough when it comes to passport bros. It's not just dating, it's cost of living, it's rent, it's gym, it's food, it's everything, and it increases the quality of your life. At the end of the day, it's a men's health movement about doing what's best for you. It takes one US remote job and the courage to leave to experience all of that, plus a dating culture that is a lot less toxic.
A lot of people, not just men, come to the Philippines so that they can experience our values and morals, especially a culture that's beyond money and privilege. So why are these women shocked that they're dating us? Is it because you think you're better than us? Because the belief that someone's worth is measured by their financial status or societal privilege is for shallow-minded people that only has that to offer.
Look, call me when you're ready for trips and dates. I can't text all day, bitch.
Practice and practice and practice. Practice makes what? Absolutely not. Dismantle that belief system. Practice makes improvement.
Para ti, mi amor, para que te lo comas todo.
Yes, I have an accent because I ain't from here. I was born in Thailand, and I grew up in Georgia for a decade. And then I fucking moved to Nebraska. Ain't shit over there, by the way. How the hell y'all gonna tell me how I'm supposed to sound like? You want me to speak in broken English, bitch? The fuck? Or would you like for me to speak formally to you, sir? Fuck out of here, man.
Put a finger down if you're an anti-feminist and a fundamentalist who believes that traditional American values should be brought back into the household, because your husband is the sole provider of your home. That's what I thought. Shouts out to being a real woman. Just kidding. Kill all men. Hee hee.
For those who don't know, Kill All Men, or KAM, was a trend on TikTok where feminists made videos talking about killing all men. And that's what we have to deal with in the feminist West. Females who truly hate men and are probably psychopaths because the psychopathic tendencies are nurtured by the gynocentric dictatorship. It starts off with feminists picking the Chads and Tyrones, and then the feminists attribute those actions from the select few to all the men. It's a confirmation bias because they're taught that men are evil and they'll try to use women, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the worst part is that the average guy and good guys get the brunt force of their feminist rage and their vengeance against men. Even if females aren't outright man-hating feminists with the shaven head or purple hair and sporting a noseball ring, they're still able to ruin men through the gynocentric dictatorship. And the comments just prove why men are getting their passports. I thought the long silence was a cry for help, but then this was better. I was about to say. I was worried for a second. I almost vomited. Then I screamed yes. In algorithm we trust. I knew I had to wait. LOL. Girl, you had me for a second there.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't.
So there's something that I stumbled upon on my TikTok, and it's something called Passport Bros. And it's basically American men that are now going overseas to different countries, which we already know about, but they want the women that they're with to remain foreign. So they're not actually intending to bring the women back to the United States because they feel like the women in the United States are kind of like tarnished goods. And I want you to watch this video, okay?
So there's this new movement called Passport Boys. It's when guys, American men, go over to whatever country, find someone, marry them, and bring them back. I'm beginning to jump on board with this whole thing because the dating in this Southern California area.
So in the video, you can hear where he says to bring them back to the United States, but actually one of the Passport Bros, like one of their like guest speakers or something, corrects him and says this.
We're not bringing them back here. Not us. We're going over to their country. We want our foreign women to stay.
What is going on? Like, I'm genuinely concerned for America right now. Like, do I need to try to be the president or like, I don't know, like be a mayor or something? What's going on?
What's going on is that us men are getting out of Dodge to actually retire comfortably because we're tired of having our taxes funding single moms and the problems that come from single moms, like their out of control bastard kids. And we want actual real women who aren't used up, jaded, or just dating for free relationship benefits. Women that actually cook and clean and want to make us happy. Because we're tired of these modern women offering nothing or very little in return while we give everything to them. We don't want to be ensnared by the child support laws or divorce courts, as if these modern women aren't low value enough. These feminist laws make it a suicide pact getting married or having kids with any of these 304s. Top comment says, nah, let them go sis, we ain't losing. Bye Passport Bros. Just wait till these females hit the wall and look to settle down, or until MGTOW and the Passport Bro movement hits a critical mass. The country won't be able to function because most of the men have quit. They don't want them to stay foreign. They can't afford to bring them to the States. Again, missing the point entirely. Bringing these traditional women back to the States is a bad idea because more likely they'll get ruined by feminism. And it also attracts the worst foreign women, the ones who are looking for a green card. The foreign women who are looking for a green card are usually the town HOEs, and they want to live the city girl lifestyle in the state or the Commonwealth countries. This isn't new, and the guys doing it aren't the good ones. They'd rather go to another country than therapy. It's starting to be the so-called good ones, whatever that means to these broads. Even Michael B. Jordan, the famous actor which none of these 304s will call broke, ugly, loser, is a passport bro. Because he says it's hard to tell if females in America like him for his wealth or not. So when most of the good guys move overseas, these bedwenches will be crying on TikTok asking where have all the good men gone.
Because they feel like the women in the United States are kind of like tarnished goods. And I want you to watch this video, okay?
This is exactly what I'm talking about. No one said that women are tarnished goods. If you actually look at a passport bro, which I know many of them, they are not going over there to grape and conquer. They are going over there because they are giving up over here. The reality is that there are too many women that are saying that they don't need men. Men want to be needed. They want to feel valued, like they are protectors, like they are alphas, like we need them. The problem is that too many women are saying, I don't need a man. I too say, I don't need a man, but damn, I want a man. They do things better and faster. Like, I laid down flooring for my Airbnb. I have like tiny hands. All of these were broken. There were like warped areas. Thank God my dad came and he helped me. But nonetheless, if I don't say I need a man, if I don't say I want a man, they don't feel valued. Just like when women were screaming and saying, this man's not saying that he appreciates me and I'm doing all the cooking and the cleaning and I'm working full time and I'm taking care of the kids. And the man saying, well, where's my dinner? Then the woman left, right? So what makes women think that the same tactic is going to work on the men? The reality is, women make up half of the workforce for sure, but we also spend a lot, so it's not like we're taking all of these trips like they are. And furthermore, none of the men ever say that they're damaged goods. What they consistently say is, we're tired. They say that they're tired trying to find a woman in the United States, let alone a metropolitan area like LA or New York, where women say, I don't need a man, go away, who do you think I am? I knew one guy that was, we're dating, and he told me he opened the door for a woman, and she said, I can get that myself. Are you freaking kidding me? I'm waiting for a guy to open my door, like, for me, like a gentleman. Like, that's what you're supposed to do as a date. But women, we're supposed to appreciate it. Also, if you go on a date with a guy and he pays for it, say thank you. It's like, beside myself not understanding how when I go on a date with a man and I say thank you, they are overly thankful that I'm thanking them for taking me out to a dinner to get to know each other. And when I ask them why, it's because none of the women that they go on dates with actually say thank you. And I won't say none because it's a definitive answer, and we all know that that's not the case. My purpose in this is to defend the passport bros because they're not raping and pillaging and like doing anything crazy. They just want a traditional woman, which is why they don't want to bring them over here.
That just shows how low the bar is. By just saying thank you makes the man happy. Yet most of these bedwenches can't even do that, because they're probably complaining that the restaurant wasn't a 5-star restaurant, or they're expecting all these relationship benefits for just existing. When feminists claim and say they don't need a man, it's a power move to try to convince the man that he has less worth. But let's be real. The world runs because men do 90% of the critical jobs, so it's easy for feminists to claim they don't need a man in a developed country where shit is running right. How about they try to say that in a developing country or in the middle of nowhere? Here's a tip. When she claims she doesn't need a man, it's not worth trying to convince her otherwise. She qualifies for your soft guy era. Then demand her to pay the bill if she wants to date you because she doesn't need a man. Drizzle drizzle. When you have too many men agreeing with you, you said something wrong. So she's given advice on how to get a man's commitment, men co-sign it because she's generally right, and these females claim it's wrong. That's why men are getting their passports, because modern women are so self-centered they become delusional because they can't even be bothered with what men want. Another comment. Finally, someone that gets it. I'm not needed or wanted. I'm going to get someone that appreciates me. Exactly. Couldn't have said it better. True love is two people appreciating each other and openly showing it to each other through acts and gestures. Yep, these females in the West want to be queens and have a man serving them 24/7 like a butler at a 5-star hotel. Another bitter female comments, "Are you picked yet?" They want dormants and people to take advantage. Point taken. These deceptive thoughts think it's bad if women actually want to be picked by a man.
If you marry any of these Western modernized women, you're a fool, because you ain't getting a real wife, not a traditional wife. If you're looking for a traditional marriage, you're not getting it here. Which is why passport bros are a thing, and guys are going to get foreign women that are raised with traditional beliefs. The traditional belief system here, dead, over with. It's a wrap. Number two, a man's success isn't defined by marriage, a woman's is. Our success is defined by the success we create for ourselves. Your success is defined by, can you get a husband? Did you procreate? Even if you got rich, you were put here for a man and to repopulate the earth, to reproduce. So even if you go get all the money and all that shit, what does that mean for real? If I take your career away, if I take your degree away, what's your purpose as a woman? Because women are putting purpose in careers, money, lifestyles. If we remove all of that, we're just humans on earth. What's your purpose now? If we're in the fucking woods and them huts and the villages, you're gonna get back into your natural role. All that boss bitch energy, all that shit going out the window. You going back into your feminine, back into what you were created for, naturally.
Couldn't have said it better myself. All men in the West need to see this. This is exactly what I've been saying. Men are working harder for less, and these modern women, once they hit that wall and the SEX in the city lifestyle is over because they're too old and face 50 years of being alone and miserable because the easy mode is over. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. And we are at easy times, which is about to turn into hard times. When the shit hits the fan, the only good from it is that it'll show these feminists that they truly need a man or they won't survive.
I'm going to talk about basically the difference between Brazilian women and North American. Specifically, dating a Brazilian girl is so much more easier and so much less bullshit and less baggage and less things like that. I don't find there's the whole runaround situation. You don't have to keep thinking what's she thinking now? You can just be yourself. I find that I can't go back to dating Canadian women or almost any other culture for that matter. Not to say that I wouldn't, if the opportunity arose, I wouldn't give it a shot, or I wouldn't, you know what I mean? But choosing, I would definitely go with a Brazilian girl, and hands down. It's a no-brainer in my opinion. So another reason why dating in Brazil is so much easier and less complicated is that you can literally cold approach a woman here, so long as you're a nice guy and you're not a dick about it, and they'll talk to you. They'll give you the time of day. They might even be interested in hanging out going for a coffee or something like that, getting their number. It's just, you don't have those runaround games and those head games and things like that, or the rudeness. I find that I'll go with Canadian girls, and not all Canadian girls, so if someone who's from Canada is watching, don't take offense to this, but this is my experience. They'll basically shoot you down or not even give you the time of day. And they say that Canadian people are the nicest. I have to disagree when it comes to the whole dating thing. I think that girls in Canada are, let's say in Toronto, are so much more stuck up and less approachable. I don't know why that is. I think that's just maybe because they've had bad experiences from a lot of dicks in their past. I'm not sure. Jackasses. I can't really say.
That's because in these traditional countries, women outnumber the men, while in the feminist West, you'd be lucky to have 50-50, because in the major cities, men from all over the world come there to work, so men easily outnumber the women. Mind you, Brazil is always ranked in the top 3 for having the most beautiful women in the world. If any type of female that should be stuck up, it should be them. Yet, it's the fat, ugly feminists in America or the UK who think their shit doesn't stink. And if a female in Canada has some type of looks, you can't tell her shit, because there will always be a simp to rescue her from her actions.
I left my boyfriend and I've been traveling for 10 days and I've slept with 22 people in that 10 days. My goal was 20 and I just hit 22 this morning. It's 1 p.m. now here in Paris and I need to check out because I'm going home. I really doubt I'm going to get another one on the board, either on the plane or on my layover. So I think 22 is where we're going to cap it out. But how did I go?
Well, I have a new funniest request.
Oh, an OnlyFans. Tell me, please tell me.
So this has just come through yesterday, so I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm reading through the paragraph of what he's asked, and I'm like, okay, cool, yep, seems pretty normal. Want to squirt, it's 5 minutes. And then I see it's a full striptease to the entire song of Good For You by Selena Gomez.
No way. What?
Silly me's accepted the payment, yeah, that's fine, 5 minute custom solo, whatever.
Without
Before
reading.
I've seen the whole terms and conditions.
The T's and C's.
With everything that we talked about with twin flame soulmates, I think it's all becoming a bit outdated.
Yeah.
I think you choose a person, you make it work, you build a life with them, and if you are married or not, who cares?
Exactly. And I think, if you get married, cool. If you don't, whatever.
Yeah.
You can have kids with someone and still be in a relationship with them. And as we said, once you live with them for 6 months anyway, it's de facto. You're basically the same as being married anyway.
Yeah.
You don't need a ring and a piece of paper. If you want to do that, go for your life.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I want to get married just because I want to have a party.
I'm the same. I don't want a big deal. I just want a nice ring and a party.
Same.
So I don't even care if I don't get married. I just want to
Just want a ring and a party. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Just want to have the fantasy of, maybe one day, keep the families happy.
Yeah, exactly right.
I feel like my grandparents and my parents would both be super excited and want that to happen. So if I just get engaged, I'll be like, maybe next year.
You see the double standards. When us men go overseas, we're taking advantage of women and doing sex tourism, trafficking, and etc. But when these females go overseas and bed hop, it's an experience. It's finding themselves. The truth is, most passport bros go overseas to find a wife and have kids, not live a playboy lifestyle. And just goes to show how nasty these OF performers are, because she said the quiet part out loud. 2 different men a day means one of them might be sharing spit and other forms of DNA, like she might have gotten a facial and 2 hours later French kissed a guy. I'm willing to bet there's not that much difference between an OF performer and a modern woman. It's just documented on OF. Remember, IG thoughts can get propositioned in the DMs to do degrading things for a rich oil prince. Another case of single women keeping women single. Social media has supercharged these 304s. If it seems culturally accepted for females to be HOEs, then they're more likely to do it because there's no instant consequences for being a 304. Sleeping with 22 men in 10 days is crazy. I can't believe she sees this as an accomplishment. It's fun and cute when she's young and getting some attention, but it just goes to show she can't pair bond and she's forever addicted to the new DICK.
She's right. I'm abusive. That's why I didn't get custody. Let me ask you something. Let's imagine that you're a man. Yeah, I know that's really hard for you to do because you definitely don't want to be a man. But let's imagine that you're a man and you've done everything that you possibly can to make this relationship work. You've jumped through the hoops to make her happy. You're jumping through the hoops to be the best possible father that you can be to your child. And she just says, well, I just don't want to be with you. I mean, yeah, I'll be honest, in my situation, she don't want to be with me in the first place. We just got pregnant. But you step up to the plate because that's what you're supposed to do as a man. Step up to the plate, right? You go and you get your attorney and they're like, all right, well, we're going to get in the court within 2 weeks. And the mom's attorney ends up pushing it back a month and a half. And because you're a man and you didn't get married to her because she didn't want to get married to you, she can legally keep the child away from you. And she's getting that advice from her own attorney. There's absolutely nothing your attorney can do about it because you don't have any rights. Yeah, you signed the birth certificate. Yeah, you signed the acknowledgement of paternity, but it don't mean anything. All that means is that you're just financially obligated to this child. You're not allowed to see the child. You're not allowed to be in that child's life. Only mom can allow that. Or a judge. So you got to pull about $10,000 out of your ass to get in front of that judge to establish your rights. After your child has been stripped from you for 2 months, you go into court and all they do is lie and say you were abusive and manipulative to both the child and the mother. But you were never any of that. They don't have any documentation or any of this. It's all hearsay. But overall, people believe women before they believe a man. On top of all of this $10,000 that you just spent, imagine having a paycheck and a half that you have to give to this mother. You're not going to be able to survive on your own. You're not even going to be able to afford food, the electricity, your house. You're fucked. And then this shit gets dragged out for years. You run out of money. You just take what you can. Guess what it is? Weekends. You wanted to be a father so bad. You had this idea of being able to be this involved father, and they made you an uncle. Then you start speaking up about what happened to you, and they throw a restraining order on you because you're speaking about your case and why the guy that you used to talk to committed suicide for the same reason that you're going through the same shit that he's going through. But now they're saying that you're suicidal. Now you got to spend another $25,000 to get out of that. So if you went through all of that, what would you do? You would probably sound pretty abusive as well, wouldn't you? You'd probably want to burn down the world for your child, wouldn't you?
This is BS. Men are scared about in the feminist West if they get the wrong woman pregnant, which is most modern women. And this is what the 304 retirement plan is, to baby trap a hard-working man. How it happens is that these feminists will lie and claim they don't want kids, then claim they're on the pill when they're not, and then accidentally get pregnant without the man's consent. One of the top comments says, "That sucks. I went abroad and got a wife before I got anyone pregnant here." If you want to start a successful family, you have to come to terms that it will have to be in a traditional country. Otherwise, your life will be a living hell just as you're seeing this man go through. Another comment. Dude, I was dragged through the coals for 10 years until I got sick of it and signed my rights off. Now my kids are over 18, we have a great relationship. This is something you honestly have to think about if you're messing with modern women in the feminist West. Either suffer for the rest of your life by trying to do the good thing and be in the kid's life, or be willing to cut ties and leave. Another comment. So if you know things are going south, this is my advice to anyone. Audio record or video record if your state allows it. And someone responds, in some states you have to have both parties' permission. Other states you'll only need one party, could be either you or the other, just make sure. People don't understand. These anti-family courts are super feminist, which means they're anti-male, and they make their money on making the men pay. as in they have a vested interest in screwing over the man and setting the payments as high as possible because they get a cut. They're fake courts. There's no jury trial, and it's all up to the judge on what they decide. You can have all the evidence in the world, and it don't matter. If the judge needs a third mortgage paid off, you'll help pay it off. Get that through your thick skulls. It's straight robbery.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but passport bros end up giving all of their money to those girls in other countries. And then they end up on 90-day fiance. And then once those girls get their green cards and get their citizenship, they leave you because they're smart. They use you for exactly what you're worth. They make a come up and then they keep it pushing like how a real woman would.
Ironically, our detractors will describe what modern women in the West do to men when trying to scare us men from becoming passport bros. But hold on, I thought we're dusty to these females and no one wants us. And I thought we're broke. How can we get robbed if we're broke? In seriousness, for the males that get scammed, they'd get scammed anywhere they go. Unfortunately, they think they can be a loser overseas, or just because they have more money, all their problems will go away. Leading with the wallet and green card, also known as relationship benefits, will always attract the worst women. Projection, projection. Sound like some leftist propaganda babble. Give it up, no one is checking. Strange how these females who claim they don't care about us always seem to comment on what we're doing. LOL, just say no one wants you and stop gaslighting kings. Drizzle drizzle. Exactly. She, like most of these females, are mad we have a safety net overseas while they have nothing nowhere. It's at least 50 years more work for them, and being single until they're dead. Another comment. Passport HOEs get used and peed on and dumped on in Dubai. Then they go to Instagram acting like they are girl boss. We find love, they become a toilet. That's why if she ever went to Dubai, that's a black flag. Move on.
Good men finish last. I'm gonna say it again. Good men finish last. And I'm gonna tell you why. Here comes this man after you've been hurt, abused, cheated on, lied to, been with a narcissistic, whatever your case is. He comes in, he shows you you're loved, you're appreciated, you're respected, he treats you like a queen for the first time in your life. But you have trouble understanding what you did to deserve it. You love him so much, and then all of a sudden he does one thing that disappoints you, one thing that hurts you, upsets you, whatever the case is. May not be the end of the world. He didn't cheat on you, he didn't hurt you, but it's one thing that you're just like, whoa, red flag, defense mechanism. Up goes the wall, here comes an attitude. You want to argue, you want to scream, you want to yell, or you just completely shut down, because that's what you do when you feel hurt. But if you think that no one on this planet is going to hurt you, and you have that expectation that this man is so great that he is never going to disappoint you or let you down, that is where you disrespect yourself. Not one person is perfect. We are never going to do something to where we're never going to hurt people. We are going to disappoint, just like you're going to disappoint him one day. But it's not the end of the world. You talk through it, you fight through it, and you accomplish a healthy relationship. Stop letting good men pay for your ex, your last situationship, whatever that man in the past did to you. Don't let your current man pay for it. Good men finish last because they teach you that they're good men. They show you your worth and theirs. Stop letting good men pay for your past.
How about skip these broken, used up females altogether? If she gets treated like trash, she is trash. Or once in the garbage, always garbage. These secondhand females are broken for life. Why try to fix them when you have a fresh crop of 18-year-olds every year? Why waste your time? There are beautiful women all over the world, every race, who respect you from day one and make your life much better the moment you meet them. Being with them isn't a therapy session where you unpack all their trauma. If you weren't good enough for their prime, they don't deserve you in their decline. Remember that.
This is what you can get for just $30 in the Philippines. Here's a breakdown of my day and all the expenses along with it.
We out here, baby!
We head down to the dock and hop on the Island Group A tour. We canoe in the crystal clear waters and make some friends with some other travelers.
Where are you from?
The Czech Republic.
This place is beautiful.
Super gorgeous. Come here.
Yeah, my homies park the canoe for some epic drone shots. The water here is amazing. We wrap things up and head over to our lunch spot. Food is served community style and it's all for free included in the tour. We notice people in canoe pouring rum into coconuts. My boy Luis asked if he could just buy the whole bottle and he does. And so does my friend Manny. Of course, we share our rum with the boat and find out one of the people on there is a professional singer. We're all feeling pretty loose as we head over to one of my favorite spots, Secret Lagoon. Me and my homie Aaron have to climb through a cave to get in there.
You literally have to like hold your breath and stuff.
It was so quiet and calm in there. You're literally enclosed 360 degrees. We're off to the final spot where we meet a huge group of people from Uruguay who teach us a game called Stick.
Put the stick in a place and we can only do one step in order to reach it.
This was my favorite part of the day. It's always easier to make good friends while you're traveling. Something about the energy in the air. Everyone's really cool. I love meeting people from different cultures. I hop in the water one last time to snorkel. Overall, 10 out of 10 day. With all the add-ons, I think it came out to only $40 US.
Instead of saving your money for a vacation every year, why not make your life a vacation by actually moving to a country where the dollar goes far? I just spent $210 on 4 bags of groceries. F my life. Exactly. Why support the feminist West when you can live your best life somewhere else and be appreciated there? Bro is living the life. The passport bro in the video responds, "Get that remote job and join me. The water is fine." You can work a simple, easy remote job or a gig job as a part-time and live like a baller in some of these countries. Or you can marry a Decepticon in the feminist West.
Can we talk about how hard it is to leave the good guy? One, when you say, I want a divorce, and he's like, no, I want to work this out. Everything's going to be fine. You know, we can get through this. And he's so encouraging and everything's just so fucking peachy keen, right? We talk about how I'm manipulated into staying because he's a good guy. He does nothing wrong. Like, the only thing he's guilty of is being lazy and, you know, not putting in effort like we did when we were in the beginning of our relationship, like any other marriage. He doesn't beat me, he doesn't do anything, he doesn't take money from me, but he downplays my emotions. I don't think he fully understands me. And we've talked about this, y'all. This has all been in counseling, but how do you leave the good guy? I'm having like an internal battle right now because like I want to leave. I want to file divorce papers and I want to freaking run to Maine or something. I mean, am I the crazy one? Am I the crazy one because I keep throwing these fits and fighting with him? I look legit crazy because I literally stay in bed all day. A lot of that is because if I don't stay in bed all day, I will nitpick him. And I didn't start doing this until like last year. Like I don't, because I'm so unhappy with myself that I will nitpick him and tear him apart. So if I stay in bed, I won't be mean. I'm so tired. I'm so tired. And I'm only sharing this because I swear to God I promise transparency. And I swear to God I promise the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I am struggling today. But this has been an ongoing struggle for the past like 6 months of my marriage. And I've said it here and there in videos, but I've never gotten this raw. I'm tired of marriage counseling. I'm tired of trying. I'm ready to leave. I'm ready for a divorce. I'm exhausted. I'm mentally at my capacity. I feel like I'm stretched thin. I feel like I can't describe it. But I am not okay today.
Translation. This post-wall wants another HOE phase, so she's doing everything she can to get him to leave her so she doesn't look like the bad person, when she's the bad person to begin with. She literally thinks she'll have the time of her life, and sure, she may have some fun hooking up for a couple weeks, but eventually it'll get old because she'll get too old, and she won't have the benefits of a relationship and she'll die alone. Leave that man so he can find his wife. Exactly. His real wife is overseas. All he has to do is get his passport and he'll find true happiness. As always, I wish you tremendous success. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Remember that if you leave the best comment, you'll get $5. Thank you so much for watching. If you found value in this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons, ring the notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads, drop a comment, and share it. See you in the next video. Till next time.